Welcome everybody to this introduction to tapping. So this introduction to tapping is if you don't know anything about tapping. So what is tapping? Tapping is what people call EFT, emotional freedom techniques. It's a number of different techniques with one basic recipe, a little bit like a cake. There's one basic recipe for a cake. Generally, you have eggs, flour, milk, maybe a little bit of oil or butter is a basic recipe. But it changes depending what type of cake you're wanting, whether it's a chocolate cake, a fruit cake, a carrot cake, an orange cake, a sponge cake, whatever type of cake it is, even a cheesecake. They're all vastly different. That's the same with tapping or EFT, emotional freedom techniques. There's one basic recipe, but a number of different techniques. How does it work? Well, it's very much like you've got blood running through your veins and arteries throughout your body, right? In the very same way, you have meridians running through your body, and in those meridians is energy. And just like the blood can get blood clots and cause disease and discomfort, the very same way your meridians with energy running through it, you can have energy blockages. So what tapping does is it taps into these blockages and you tap on the end points of the meridians that are closest to the skin surface to unblock them effectively. Think of an egg timer. You know those egg timers with the sand running through? If it was sort of like blocked and the sand wasn't running smoothly, you just tap on the side, it starts to run smoothly. The same with your energy, if your energy is blocked. So how do you know if your energy is blocked? It could be in the form of a phobia. If you have a height phobia and you're looking over a 2-story building holding onto the side of a banister, your throat might tighten up, your stomach is in knots, your head is pounding. All of that is your energy blockages. Someone who doesn't have a height phobia looks over and their energy is running fine. So what you would do in that case is use tapping for the person with phobia with, say they've got knots in their stomach. You tap on those knots in their stomach so that those knots relax and ease up so they can start to look over the banister feeling completely relaxed. It doesn't make them want to jump over the banister or do anything unexpected. It just takes that excess out, the part that's not natural. It might be in the form of pain. You've got knee pain, neck pain, chest pain. You tap on whatever that is, that physical pain, that is energy. Energy is all blocked up in there. And tapping is one of the best ways of shifting pain. And we might do a little demonstration at the end of this. It can show up in a number of ways. It might be physical pain, it might be emotional pain, it might be trauma, someone who has excessive grief. Someone's just passed away. That's totally understandable that you have grief. But if you are grieving for years and years and years over a broken relationship and can't get past it, tapping can help. It can help those mental blocks, you know, when you're studying or when you're like trying to go an exam and you just like your mind goes blank. It can take that blankness away. If you're feeling really stressed and your heart is pounding in whatever stressful situation it is, someone said something, something has happened, whatever it is that has happened is making you feel anxious or stressed. What is anxiety and stress? It's different for different people. Some people, it is a migraine, a pounding head, a head that feels like it's going to explode. Some people is like their heart is pounding 1,000,000 miles an hour. Or a churning stomach, or knots or butterflies in the stomach, sweaty palms, nervousness, shaking can appear in any way, and tapping helps with that. So what is tapping? Well, it is tapping, the one basic recipe The shortcut I will be showing today, which is just the basic recipe, a little bit like Remember the Cake, eggs, flour, milk, oil or butter that you need. Sometimes if it doesn't work, you just need to add a few more ingredients, but we'll just use the basic recipe. So those of you who want to try it for yourself, take responsibility for your health. I'm not a medical practitioner, but I do encourage you to try it. Sit down, you need your hands free, feel comfortable. If you can, have a glass of water. I've got a cup of water, glass of water nearby, because it's always good to flush toxins out. And you're just going to sit and relax and just scan through your body for a moment and just notice, do you have any area of discomfort or pain? A headache, neck, shoulder pain, back pain, hip, knee. Might just be an ache, might be a tightness, maybe you're stiff from some exercise that you've done, anything like that. If you don't have any pain, but you still want to try this for yourself, another exercise you can do, I will have to stand up for this. See if you can see me. You won't be able to see, this is not full length. But try, taking care of your health again, try and touch your toes. So lean over and see how far you can reach touching your toes. Can you reach your thighs, your knees, your ankles, right down to your feet? That is if you don't have any physical pain or discomfort. See how far you can stretch. Those of you who are doing this exercise, touching your toes, just notice what is stopping you from going further. Some people, it might be a tightness behind your knees. Some of you, it might be tightness under your chest, or it might be stiff calves, or aching back of your thighs. Whatever it is, note it down. It'd be useful to have a pen and paper. Note it down. What is it? Stiffness behind my knees, aching calves, and rate it 0 to 10. 0 is it's not there at all, in which case you didn't necessarily feel it. 10 is like, this is agony, in which case stop. Just give it a rough estimate of what it is. Those of you who do have physical pain, just note where in your body are you feeling this physical pain. Is it sort of like a stiff neck or a real neck ache, shoulder pain, head, somewhere in your body? Can just be a little bit of discomfort. It can be some real pain. Note down what that pain is. It's a headache. It's a stomach ache. It's back pain. Also note what type of pain is it? Is it like an aching pain? It's a dull ache. It's a stabbing pain. It's a stinging pain. We all experience different types of pain. Note down what that is and rate it 0 to 10. 0, you don't have it at all, in which case there's no point. You're not going to experience any relief. There's no relief to experience. 10 is this is agonizing. So you should have both noted that, whether you're doing the exercise for touching your toes or whether you're doing the exercise of discomfort in your body. Now what we're going to do before we even work on it, because you have no idea what tapping is, presumably as you've come to this video, we're going to do a demonstration. You need to see certain parts of me. So what we're doing is we're tapping on various parts of our body. Remember the parts, the meridians that are closest to the skin surface so that we can unblock the energy while focusing on whatever it is that is giving us this discomfort. But we're just going to do a practice round to begin with. So everybody, you are my mirror. You do exactly what I do. If any of you have heard of Simon Says, it's a little bit like the game Simon Says. If not, don't worry, you're just my mirror. If I tap on the side of my hand, you tap on the side of your hand. If I tap on top of my head, you tap on top of your head. Okay, ready. And I also say something. So I will say a statement and then pause. When I pause, wherever you are, say exactly the same thing out loud while doing what I'm doing. So you're going to be doing what I'm doing, saying what I'm saying. So to begin with, we tap on the side of the hand or the karate chop and repeat after me. Even though I'm doing this silly tapping thing, I'm okay. Even though I'm doing this silly tapping thing, I'm okay. Even though I'm doing this weird, silly tapping thing, I have no idea how it's going to help my pain or stiffness. I'm okay. Do that 3 times, and then we go on what's known as a reminder points. And you can tap with either hand, it doesn't matter, or you can tap with both. So on top of your head, this silly tapping thing. Your eyebrow, just where your eyebrow starts, this silly tapping thing. Outside your eye, just where you've got a little bit of a bony part, this silly tapping thing. Under your eye, the silly tapping thing. Under your nose, the silly tapping thing. Your chin, the silly tapping thing. Your collarbone is a bit different. Easiest is with 4 fingers. It's just a little below your collarbone, but if you tap around that point where your collarbone is, you'll feel a sort of relaxing feeling. And as you tap there, this silly tapping thing. And then under your arm, again, you can't quite see, but under your arm, if you're a woman, it's halfway through your bra strap. And just pretend you've got a bra strap. It's a roughly just directly under your arm. And you can tap like this too. This silly tapping thing. Take a deep breath in and out. If you have some water with you, take a sip. And now, again, if you had the pain, scan your body, notice what happened. If you were doing touching your toes, go and touch your toes and notice what happened. First of all, with the physical pain, is it still the same physical pain? Let's pick something. So say you've got a headache and it's an ache. It's like your temples are aching, okay? So do you still have a headache? And are your temples still aching? If yes, 0 to 10, is it still the same number? Have the numbers gone up? Have they gone down? Are they the same? If no, what is different now? Chances are, often the numbers will go down. Sometimes what tends to happen is the numbers don't change. It's still, it was a 7 before, it's still a 7, but it's not on your temples. Now it's on the top of your head, or the side of your head, or the back of your head. It's moved location. Energy is moving. We're on the right track. Keep doing what you're doing. Sometimes it's still a temple headache, but it's no longer a 7. It's gone down. That's good. Can also go up. Don't worry, that's a good sign. It just means we're honing in. Keep tapping. And the same with if you're doing the flexibility exercise. And chances are nothing happened because we just did a practice round. It's just practice rounds. Sometimes there's a shift. Just check, did anything change? And if so, what? Note it down and get ready to tap directly on your issue. Now, because you've all got very different issues and I don't know what they are, I'm just going to pick one. Let's say it's a temple headache. It's an ache. It's just an ache in my head. And it's at the temples. That's what I'm going to say. You can say the same, still have an effect, but rather whatever your ache is, you say in the place what I've just said. You've got a different physical pain, or you're doing the stretching, you've got like the stiffness of the back of your legs. So again, let's do it again. Karate chop. Even though I've got this aching headache in my temples, I choose to accept myself anyway. Even though I've got this aching headache in my temples, I choose to accept myself anyway. Even though I've got this aching headache in my temples, I choose to accept myself anyway. Now tapping on your points. These aching temples. My temples are aching. My temples are aching. got this aching headache in my temples. Aching headache in my temples. This aching headache in my temples. It's really aching in my temples. It's really aching in my temples. Again, take a breath. Relax. And rescan your body, whether you're doing the pain or the flexibility, see what's changed. Now we've been tapping directly on it, something should have shifted. The numbers should have gone up or down, preferably down, but up is still good, remember. You just keep rewatching this video and keep re-tapping. Or the location may have changed. Now you just tap on the new location or the new type of pain. It might not, now instead of being an ache, it now might be a sting, or it might now be stiff. And that's all you do. You just keep tapping until it goes down to a 0. One more little word of caution, what can happen is you can release energy, and releasing energy is in all sorts of ways. Some people yawn, some people burp, some people cry or release tears, some people hiccup. Any of that is all really good because it's all release of energy. So now you know what tapping is, now you know what to do, whether you've got physical pain, emotional trauma, although a word of caution, if it's extreme, see a professional because they know what to do if anything out of the ordinary may happen or it brings something up that you're unprepared to work with. Thank you for watching, and until next time, happy tapping.